Mr. Song, his grip tightening on the sword, did not falter at Hunter Kang's words. He knew the odds were stacked against him, but he had no intention of backing down. His mind raced, calculating every move, every possibility. He could feel the energy from Juhi's spell coursing through him, empowering his body, his movements. But Hunter Kang was a seasoned assassin with years of experience, and he had underestimated him once. This time, Mr. Song would not make the same mistake. "You talk a lot for someone who's about to lose," Mr. Song muttered, his voice steady despite the pressure mounting within him. He could see the opening. Hunter Kang's arrogance had blinded him to the urgency of the situation. The more Kang taunted him, the more it made Mr. Song realize that his only chance lay in outsmarting his opponent. Kang sneered, his eyes glinting with deadly intent. "I don't need to waste my energy on you. I'll end this quickly." With a flash, Kang moved, disappearing from sight for a brief moment. But Mr. Song was prepared. He had been expecting this. The assassin's speed was impressive, but not enough to evade Mr. Song's sharpened senses. With the boost from Juhi's magic, Mr. Song anticipated Kang's move and sidestepped just in time. He raised his sword, deflecting Kang's blade that came at him from the side. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo watched in stunned silence as Mr. Song, with a calm yet determined expression, attacked Hunter Kang with a swift and powerful strike. The sound of the blade slicing through the air echoed in the dungeon, leaving a trail of tension in its wake. But to everyone's shock, the figure of Hunter Kang simply vanished into thin air. What had appeared to be a clean and decisive blow was nothing more than a shadow, an illusion. Mr. Song's strike had met only air. Hunter Kang's voice echoed in the stillness as he revealed the truth behind his ability. "Nice try, but it's all just smoke and mirrors. I'm not as easy to catch as you think." Sung Jin-Woo could barely believe his eyes. He had witnessed Mr. Song's precision, his confidence, and his strength, but even that was insufficient against Hunter Kang's abilities. The illusion dissolved, revealing Kang unharmed, standing just a few feet away, grinning as he surveyed the situation. "Your moves are impressive, Song," Kang said with a smirk, "but even that's not enough." The air was thick with the tension of the moment. Mr. Song, realizing that his earlier attack had failed, tightened his grip on his weapon, eyes narrowing. His breath was steady despite the shock he felt. This battle had just become more complicated. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, observing from a distance, couldn't help but acknowledge the skill and tactics displayed by both hunters. Mr. Song's speed and technique had caught Kang off guard for a brief moment, but it wasn't enough to secure victory. Meanwhile, Kang's evasive skills were formidable, his ability to phase in and out of reality making him an unpredictable and dangerous opponent. Mr. Song shifted his stance, not allowing the failure to throw him off. He knew he was facing a different kind of opponent now, one whose tricks and illusions would challenge every instinct he had. But he wasn't about to back down. With a deep breath, Mr. Song lunged forward again, faster than before. This time he wasn't just relying on his sword, he was using his instincts, his experience, and everything he had learned over the years. Each strike was measured, each movement deliberate. Hunter Kang, still in his fluid and elusive form, moved just as quickly to counter, but now there was something different in his eyes. He could feel the pressure building. Mr. Song wasn't giving up, and that made him more dangerous than ever. "You're persistent," Kang acknowledged, but his grin remained. "But persistence won't win this fight." But Mr. Song wasn't trying to win with persistence alone. He was trying to outsmart his opponent, to find the cracks in Kang's strategy, and with every moment that passed he was learning. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo could see it, a shift in Mr. Song's demeanor. He was adapting. As the fight continued, Mr. Song began to land blows, small calculated attacks that chipped away at Kang's defenses. Each hit seemed to drive Kang back slightly more, pushing him into a corner. The illusionist was no longer able to avoid every strike. Finally, after a precise and well-timed maneuver, Mr. Song managed to land a blow on Kang, grazing his side. The impact caused Kang to stagger, the first real sign of vulnerability from the otherwise untouchable assassin. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's gaze sharpened as he watched the two hunters battle it out. He could sense that the tides were turning. Mr. Song wasn't just fighting for his life, he was fighting to prove something. This was no longer a simple raid. It was a battle of wit, skill, and determination. Mr. Song, panting slightly, met Kang's gaze. "I don't need to be the strongest," he said, voice steady despite the exhaustion beginning to show. "I just need to be smart enough to win." Hunter Kang, now realizing that Mr. Song was no longer playing by his rules, narrowed his eyes. This wasn't a fight he could win with just tricks. Mr. Song had adapted, and that was something Kang didn't expect. With a final decisive move, Mr. Song launched himself forward, his sword cutting through the air with deadly intent. And this time Kang wasn't fast enough to dodge. As the blade found its mark, the fight came to an end. Hunter Kang collapsed, defeated by Mr. Song's relentless strategy and newfound resolve. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo watched as the dust settled. Mr. Song, despite everything, had emerged victorious, not through overwhelming strength but through his persistence, intelligence, and adaptability. "Not bad," Sung Jin-Woo muttered to himself, a small smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. "Not bad at all." Hunter Kang stood there smirking as he prepared for the final blow. The battle had taken a toll on both of them, but Kang's speed, his ruthless nature, and his ability to outmaneuver his opponents had pushed him to the edge of victory. His eyes glowed with cold calculation as he lunged forward, ready to strike down Mr. Song. But just as Kang's weapon approached, a flicker of movement caught his eye. Mr. Song, despite his fatigue, had raised his hand and chanted an incantation, summoning a pillar of fire that shot toward the sky. The flames swirled, lighting up the dark surroundings and casting an ominous glow. Kang's smirk faltered for a moment, but his speed was undeniable. He dodged the magical pillar, twisting his body with agility and grace. His confidence never wavered. He was faster, stronger, and he knew he had the upper hand. "You think a little fire can stop me?" Kang sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. "You should have stuck to swords, old man. Magic won't save you." Mr. Song, bloodied and bruised, stood his ground despite the overwhelming odds. His breath was heavy, but his eyes burned with resolve. He knew his time was running out, but he wasn't going to die without putting up a fight. Kang's sword swung again, aiming directly at Mr. Song's throat. But in that moment, a realization struck Kang: something was off. Mr. Song's expression hadn't changed. His focus remained steady even as he prepared for the inevitable. The sword came closer, but instead of pulling away, Mr. Song took a deep breath, gathering every ounce of his remaining strength. He knew this was his final chance. At the last possible second, Mr. Song used his magic. His body, despite being injured, had a final surge of energy. The fire around him surged, wrapping around his form and creating a barrier of heat and light. It wasn't enough to defeat Kang, but it was enough to surprise him. The sword missed, but the momentum from Kang's strike carried him forward, forcing him to lose his balance. For the briefest moment, Kang was vulnerable. Mr. Song used that moment of weakness to strike, his fist landing squarely against Kang's chest, sending him stumbling backward. Hunter Kang, still reeling from the blow, hissed in frustration. His eyes widened for a split second, and for the first time in the fight, doubt flickered in his mind. "Damn it, old man," Kang growled, wiping the blood from his lips. He had underestimated Mr. Song. The man was far more dangerous than Kang had anticipated, even though he was clearly on the edge of exhaustion. But before Kang could recover, the sound of footsteps echoed in the distance. Juhi. She had seen the opportunity and rushed to Mr. Song's aid. Her magic flared as she prepared to heal him, but Kang wasn't done yet. He rushed forward, his speed unparalleled, to finish off his opponent. But Juhi wasn't going to let him. The fight wasn't over yet. Kang's focus on Mr. Song faltered, and Juhi's spells intercepted his next attack, forcing him to dodge once again. Mr. Song, now at his last ounce of strength, knew that this fight could only end one way. He had to make it count. His final strike was fueled by the last of his magic and determination. "Not yet," Mr. Song whispered, his breath ragged but his resolve unshaken. He pushed himself forward, ready to face whatever came next. If he was going to fall, he would do so on his terms. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo stood firm, unwavering against the intensity of Hunter Kang's onslaught. His eyes were cold, his grip unshakable as he wielded his blade with precision. The sound of metal clashing against metal reverberated through the air as Hunter Sung effortlessly parried Kang's vicious strikes. Each swing of his sword was a statement, one that revealed the difference in their power despite the rank difference. Hunter Kang, stunned by the strength he was facing, staggered backward after Hunter Sung's sharp deflection. His hand trembled as he held his blade, not from fear but from the raw force with which his weapon had been knocked away. His thoughts raced as he tried to process what was happening. This man couldn't possibly be E rank. It doesn't make sense. His mind reeled as he tried to reconcile the incongruity of the situation. "Who are you?" Hunter Kang demanded, his voice tinged with disbelief. "What is your rank?" Hunter Sung Jin-Woo took a deliberate step back, maintaining a calm demeanor despite the violence that had unfolded moments before. "My name is Sung Jin-Woo and I am E rank." A flicker of confusion crossed Hunter Kang's face as he processed the answer. He had expected an elite in S rank, or at least someone who could explain the incredible strength he had just witnessed. But E rank? It didn't fit. It can't be. The realization began to settle in. The person before him wasn't just some low-ranking hunter, but someone far more dangerous, someone hiding their true power. His mind quickly shifted from confusion to suspicion. This man has been concealing his abilities. But why? What is he hiding? Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's allies, watching from the sidelines, were equally stunned by what they had witnessed. They had never expected this E-rank hunter to display such mastery. It wasn't just his blade technique, it was his overall control, his skill, his resilience. They started to wonder if they had underestimated him. Was this man really as weak as his rank suggested? Hunter Kang's allies too were thrown off by the situation. The idea of an E-rank hunter performing with such expertise didn't align with their understanding of the rank structure. To them, it was inconceivable that someone of such a low rank could rise to such a level of combat ability. This man is hiding something, they thought. There's no way an E-rank can do this. One of Kang's loyal associates, who had witnessed the entire confrontation, looked upon the scene with shock. Could this be the same person who killed his opponents before? They thought. Is this the awakened one? The one who has received unimaginable power? The thought struck a chord, and the realization sent chills through the group. There were whispers of a rare occurrence, someone awakening to power beyond their rank, rising against the odds. They had heard stories about people who, against all expectations, gained extraordinary power, but it was incredibly rare, only one in hundreds of thousands. And yet it seemed like this was exactly what had happened to Sung Jin-Woo. His ability to perform like this to hold his own against someone of Kang's caliber suggested he had tapped into something beyond ordinary. For the inspector watching from the shadows, this revelation was a golden opportunity. If this is truly the awakened one, he thought with a smirk, then I've struck gold. His mind raced with possibilities and his euphoria grew. He had the leverage now. He could use this information to his advantage. And so with this newfound knowledge, the inspector decided that Jin-Woo couldn't be allowed to walk away. There was too much to gain. His decision was made. Jin-Woo would not leave alive. He was too valuable, too dangerous, and too unpredictable. Hunter Kang, seeing the glint in the inspector's eye, understood what would come next. He knew the moment had arrived. The weak and the strong had been separated. The battle was now no longer just about survival, it was about gaining control of this terrifying force.